Welcome to an Oreo timeline explanation. I know. I don't really know why I'm making this video. I don't really know how many people will actually care. But for the few that do, here's a video for you to explain the Oreo lore for some reason. So, the first project takes place in 2015, and the first events that are seen, or first events that are explained, take place in like 2007. I believe it's explained. I'm not sure if it is, but if it isn't, I guess I'm giving you a bit of Oreo lore that was never explained. But Oreo was created in 2007. I think it actually might have been mentioned in one of the movies that they've been going for nearly 15 years. So that makes it around like 2005, 2007 that it first happened. 2009 is the first shown event. It was in a flashback in the Christmas special. Senor de la Vasquez attacks on Christmas. Not really much is explained about that battle, but we do see Bullet Man fighting Senor de la Vasquez and beating him, and then they talk about how it's on Christmas. So that the dates revealed, the fight kind of locations revealed. It's just showdown to Minneapolis. Not really anywhere crazy. Or the next talked about event was another battle with Senor de la Vasquez in 2012. So in 2014 we see a few things. We see Oliver Winston attacking Bullet Man. He just attacks Bullet Man, fights him off. It was actually a cool scene. It was one of the better ones. Christmas 2014, Drew Raton versus Bullet Man. That is seen, of course. So then we move into 2015. The first scene in the OCU takes place, about a 2015 flashback when Vasquez was trying to steal the Mind Blast rock from Oreo headquarters, and Bullet Man was able to stop him. The first project, which is not actually made by the Oreo Cinematic Universe. It's any Grinch adaptation you want. It just needs to be the basic Grinch story. So the Grinch, he appears in later Oreo projects. So I decided just to keep the same origin story he had. And instead of like remaking it in Lego or whatever, I just said use the old one. Because remaking it in Lego would take a while, and I have other Oreo projects that are more important to work on. In the Oreo Fortnite game, the creative one, Grinch Battle for Whoville, it's not really said like when, but it's kind of like meant to hint that it was like right after. Basically, the Grinch portrayed Whoville and took over the city. In December 2016 is when the first actual OCU project takes place. That'll be The Snatchers. That'll be a film coming out this year. It was already revealed that was a prequel. I'm just giving out the date for when it takes place now. 2016. It'll star, of course, Sarah Jam as the Grinch, Sarah Jam as Kermit Snatcher, Specs Media as Quandale Snatcher, and a few others. For the new characters, we're not going to leak who, but they're going to be pretty silly if I might say so myself. We move into 2017, nothing happens. 2018, nothing happens. 2019, this is the first big year in Oreo. This and 2020 are the two big ones. So we should get to the nitty gritty of this. Oreo the Movie 1, the main events take place late September to early October. Okay, our first series and our only series starts to take place. October 2019 is when the first Oreo HQ Project Enforcer episode takes place. Arguably one of the best Oreo projects, Bullet Man Punch Man the Whorehouse. The stop motion on this one isn't too great, but it's an improvement from Oreo the Movie, which was a little bit bad. Actually pretty bad. It takes place October 2019. The next episode of Oreo HQ, episode 2, it shows the Scarecrow from that movie afterwards kind of doing his own thing. And the next episode of Oreo HQ takes place in November, because the next project is Grinch Battle for Hulu that takes place in November 2019. In the game, basically, you're in Whoville, and you have to try to conquer it back, because if you remember, like I said earlier, the Whoville was conquered by Grinch, and he just kind of like messed with it, so it's like a kind of like a apocalyptic version of Whoville. It also is revealed that it's like right before Christmas, and it shows Grinch in a helicopter making his way to Minneapolis, which was when the next project takes place, which is Oreo HQ episode 4 and Christmas special. They take place at the exact same time. So basically, Lootmas, it's a day that the Snatchers steal, like it's at midnight of December 24th, like late night to early morning, December 24th and 25th is when these take place. It revealed the end credit where Martin breaks out the Grinch, and now they're working together, which leads us into the first thing of 2020, the Oreo HQ episode 5 finale. So basically in early January, the Enforcer is traveling to Minneapolis and they have to stop him. he's traveling to Minneapolis to talk with Martin. Then we move on to the first short, the first one, Mind Blast Rock Fate. Basically, Boltman and Punchman decide the fate of the Mind Blast Rock. It's only a minute long. The first event of Oreo the movie, which is Martin, of course, breaking out the Grinch. That takes place in January. Actually, that takes place before the Mind Blast Rock Fate. I should mention that. The Oreo Christmas special end credit takes place right like at the same time, of course, as Oreo movie 2 opening scene. But that's in like the earliest part of January, so it's before Oreo HQ episode 5, and it's before the short. I should have mentioned that. We got February. We got the Mind Blast, or we got the Time Blast Rock. Basically, the villains just find the Time Blast, or the Seniors find the Time Blast Rock. They talk about it, and they accidentally go back in time, and then they're able to fix it. They get back into normal time, but still, it's revealed that the Time Blast Rock is now in the possession of the Seniors. In March is when Senor de la Bermudez gets out in Oreo movie 2. They build a time machine, and it's finished 2 months later in May. April, though, in between Bermudez getting there and building the time machine, in between that, Bear Paws takes place. Bear Paws, it's just really a way to show off his power, but that takes place in April. Basically, Oreo's in a chase scene and they need some help, and Bear Paws gets the job done pretty quickly. Oreo movie 2, this takes place in June. I might have mentioned it takes place in June, I'm not sure. I think it was just kind of hinted through constant time changes, though, that it was June. Also, by the way, Punchman takes place a month later in July 2020. That hasn't been set in stone yet, but that's what it's implied to be. And the movie's already been started, so I believe it will take place then. If not, I'll probably make a change to it in a later date. Alright, basically, I kind of forgot to mention this, but the EDP original video that takes place in April 2021 is canon. It just hasn't been officially announced yet, but now it is. April Fool's special, that doesn't even take place in 2020 or 2021. Or, no, it does it takes place October 2021. I'm not going to explain why right now. I'll explain it at a later date, though. Lastly, I also forgot to mention that the Blue Beetle special takes place on the day it released, August 18th, 2023. The Boltman vs. Batman, that takes place in a different universe number 95. Boltman and Batman both just kind of like, meet up. Batman gets traveled to the Oreo alternate universe. And also, keep in mind that universe was shown in Lego Movie 3 by Lego Night Studios. That universe actually, there's like a flashback scene of a bunch of different universes, and that was one of them. So, if you want to check it out on there, I guess you can. That makes that universe in particular canon to the OCU. But so far, that was the Oreo Cinematic Universe timeline. Thank you guys so much for watching this, and make sure to check out all the OCU projects if you want to see a complete storyline for yourself.